Kalimera, Kalispera, whatever time you are watching, this is Mappa, and this episode is going to be tasty, quite tasty, because those who aren't educated on Cypriot football, this isn't just a teaser or a taster, or it's not even a main course. This is going to be bombes de roquetes, quite literally. Bombs and rockets. I'm Stel. Thassos is here with me. How you doing, my guy?
Okay. You know, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Is it another case of?
You okay?
Yeah. Well, I was okay up until 7 p.m. yesterday evening, and all hell broke loose, and it's been a kind of busy 24 hours. It is Wednesday, the 17th of January. It's 9:30 in the UK, 10:30 in France where you are. And the news continues. It's like a conveyor belt of news. And we know where to begin from, obviously, the beginning, the Protathlima review, but things happened last night in the Cup which should not have happened. And we've come to the point now where we're hoping that the authorities will listen to the players' union and the powers that be it the police and even the supporters, to actually do something about it, because at this rate, someone's going to die. Someone's going to die at this rate.
Yep.
And this isn't even me joking or being sarcastic or using satire or anything. Someone is going to die the way that things are, whether it be a supporter, whether it be a player. Enough is enough, man. This is ridiculous.
Yep. Cue the music. Yeah. No, it's a serious thing that happened yesterday. I mean, we're going to talk about it a bit more, especially with how things unfolded after the event as well.
Well, I'll tell you what. Usually we do the league review first, but there isn't really too much to discuss on the field.
Yeah.
Shall we start with the Cup? Because it's current, and on top of that, it's going to take a long time, whereas I think the league might not take as long as it normally does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, last night, Tuesday night, we had two Cup games. 2 Cup games, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was 2. So we had Nea Salamina facing APOEL and Omonoia, the breakaway club, against Anorthosis. And I thought there was going to be a big trouble in the Omonoia-Anorthosis game, given the history of Omonoia, their supporters, Anorthosis supporters, and then I didn't know this, shame on me, but the Omonoia fans were not able to get into the stadium for various reasons, whether it be the fan card situation or other things. But stuff happened there that wasn't as bad as what happened in the Nea Salamina game.
I mean, it's bad enough, though.
It's bad enough.
We'll get to it, but
to this degree, it really isn't in comparison. So it was actually a decent game, in all fairness. APOEL were dominating procedures. They had 5 or 6 clear-cut opportunities. And then Shebak was sent off for 2 yellows. He then posted something on social media afterwards, but that is nothing in comparison to what occurred during the game. A firecracker was launched at Baba Yorio, the Salamina midfielder who was warming up, hit him on the back of the head. He was taken to hospital. Fortunately, he's still alive, although from what we understand, he's partially deaf in one ear. We then saw some fans obviously irate about whatever happened. Bedridis, the APOEL president, was walking towards the tunnel. I don't know whether he was in the stands with the fans or maybe he was in the box, but he looked very, very worried, whether it be the situation with the player. And in the 80th minute, which was like 15 minutes after the incident occurred, they decided to cancel the game. And footage came out this morning. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stop it right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We were on social media when all of this shit was happening, And we saw various people saying, oh, it could have been Salamina fans that threw the firecracker. It could have been APOEL supporters, blah, 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 blah. So it was more like a case of who done it, like who shot Mr. Burns. And obviously we're not there. We don't know what's going on. All we can see is what's happening on our TV screens. I'm reading things on social media. And before we continue with the story, I'm sorry to say this, Thassos, but there are a lot of tapped football supporters out there that refuse to try and be objective. And I'm sorry to say this again. There were some tweets that I saw that were absolutely mind-boggling. One of them was an APOEL fan saying, we fell into the trap. The Salamina players decided to warm up in front of our supporters. It wasn't in front of their supporters, actually.
No,
it was in front of the empty stand. Yeah. The APOEL fans were if you're watching it, to the left. Salamina players were to the right. So apparently there was a master plan, like some kind of, as I said, some James Bond conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah. It's a conspiracy. Yeah.
But there was a master plan there, Thassos, for the Salamina players to warm up beside the APOEL fans and antagonize them by doing their stretching and, groin stretches and shuttle runs. That's antagonizing them. And they wanted APOEL fans to react. So someone decided to throw a firecracker towards the player, and they actually hit him. Now, to the credit of most of the APOEL fans that I've seen on social media, most of them, they are condemning what had happened. Yep. Not just for the fact that what happened was absolutely deplorable, but also for the fact that it's going to hurt the club.
Yeah.
But again, we're going to go into this in just a bit. So footage surfaced this morning. Oh, for fuck's sake, wrong one. Footage surfaced this morning of an APOEL fan launching something, a firecracker, towards the direction of the player. Again, I saw things on social media, people saying, how do you know that was the footage? How do you know that was the incident? I want to see the minute on the clock when it happened. I want to see the time. And I'm thinking, as far as I remember, that was the only time I heard the firecracker go off, when it was launched in to the left of the fan, to the right of the camera. And again, this isn't me wearing this as an Omonoia fan. I'm just telling it like it is. Bro, I don't know what else to say that I haven't already said.
Well, listen, right. I went digging. I went digging because I wanted to see positive. There was a lot of people kind of launching into like why would somebody do this? In the end, the club's going to end up paying for it. They're going to, and a lot of people were saying this. A couple of Facebook pages were basically just doing copy paste stuff. So somebody would write something, they'd copy paste it, they post it somewhere else, copy paste it, post it somewhere else. It was almost like a Russian bot kind of type of, like election interference kind of thing. They were just doing, I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it in there, and they were all doing it, and they were all doing it even with errors in. So they weren't even correcting them, like lots of capital letters screaming about the referee. First of all, referee's fault. He did it on purpose. He did the Chibak thing on purpose to wind the fans up. The players then went out to wind the fans up even more. They blamed the windy conditions. The firecracker wasn't supposed to go near the player, but then the wind blew it towards him. Either way, it wasn't an APOEL fan that did it. It was actually a Nea Salamina fan, and he was aiming for the APOEL players that were warming up, and they got their own player instead. Anyway, they couldn't have hit him because the APOEL fans couldn't have hit him because he was too far away. It wasn't even near him. You can't say it's an APOEL fan that did it until you have proof. And that last one, okay, fair enough. You have proof beforehand. However, the player was facing his own fans before he went down, and he goes down holding the back of his head. So unless you've got Ronnie O'Sullivan doing that and putting some spin on the fucking thing, how is it going to come from his own fans? There were fans saying that, oh yeah, somebody shot it out of a gun in the Nea Salamina stand, and that's how it ended up doing the trajectory it did. Because firecrackers are normally shot out of a gun.
I read somewhere that someone launched it out of a gun from an apartment across the outside the stadium.
That was the other thing as well. Yeah, that was another one. There was so many things. There wasn't any proof. So Supersport, when they originally reported on it, said it was a firecracker fired by an APOEL fan. And then about 34 minutes later or something like that, they'd amended the headline to say just a firecracker.
Yep.
Which is fair enough. You can't really go, APOEL fan did it.
Yeah, of course.
As a journalist, you can't really say that until you've got the proof.
Yeah.
Of course, then the police came out afterwards. What was it? This morning?
This morning, yeah.
Yeah, and this morning being Wednesday morning to say that it was an APOEL fan. So a lot of APOEL fans were saying, well, where's the video then? There's so many cameras and CCTV cameras everywhere. Where's the video? Of course, in all these comments from people, there's also other APOEL fans commenting, responding to them below saying, what is this? It's obviously an APOEL fan. We're in trouble now. The club's going to be in trouble because of this, because one dickhead in the group decided it was going to be funny to do that. But anyway, more and more and more tornadoes being started by, I don't know, maybe they were trolls. I don't know. But anyway, where's the video? So then this grainy footage being recorded from one phone to another, showing the fan throwing the firecracker. And like you said, where's the timestamp? Show me the timestamp. It could be any game, could be anywhere, could be anything. Okay. Police then had to rush out following the leaking of the footage. They had to rush out a statement to say that one, they knew it was an APOEL fan. They have the guy's face on CCTV. They are looking for him, and if they don't find him, they will release the images. More comments. More comments. There you go. They've released it. I mean, the images aren't great. There was some more images as well that were put online that had the timestamp on as well.
Yeah, there is another one. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, did you see that?
Find it. I mean, there's this one as well. There's this one as well, but the other one, I know which one you're talking about. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just going to keep talking. If I find it, I'll bring it up.
So they showed the images. They showed the timestamp. They've got all the receipts.
Yeah. Oh yes.
And a lot of APOEL fans are obviously now gone into introspection, even the ones that were screaming about conspiracies and the rest of it, regardless of if it was a fix or not, whatever your thoughts are as an APOEL fan. There you go, and there's a timestamp there as well, although the timestamp is incorrect. It says 6th of January.
6th of January. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a 1 missing there somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
that's not going to do much for the conspiracy, is it?
No, it's not.
It's
not. Although, yeah. Although that, I mean, I can't really think of why there's a 1 missing there. But it says the first 2024 8/17. Yeah. So. Yeah,
which is around the time that the thing happened anyway, 8/17. Some people are going to cry out conspiracy now that we've put that on without the 1 on there.
Of course,
but regardless, we've had some more news coming from both teams, also from the players' union. I'm going to read out some statements, but basically, one of the statements as well is from Betevinos, the APOEL spokesman, very short one. Basically, all he said was that the The matches should be decided on the pitch, and the person at fault should not just be banned from stadiums, but he should be put in jail. Now, matches should be decided on the pitch. They're trying to. There's this thing of trying to. I don't know who they're trying to convince, but they know that there's probably going to be not just a fine and games behind closed doors, but they're probably going to give the 3-0 win to Nea Salamina as well, especially since don't know if you were going to mention it later, but especially since APOEL have already been done today for the trouble from fans caused during the APOEL Anorthosis game, where they've basically the stand they're closing is the one where the ultras are, right? So yeah. So they're going to close that stand off for one game. Now, Vrionides is always a week behind, so we're going to know what his decision's going to be for this next Wednesday. But knowing what's written and in the regulations and kind of the fallout from this, you would expect that Vrionides is probably going to put the maximum stuff on, which is 3-0 win to Nea Salamina, 2 matches without fans, and a 200 grand fine. So not only all this, but on top of that, there's the financial difficulties that APOEL are going through, transfer embargoes, the scheme to get fans to buy tickets to a game that doesn't exist. I'm going to try and not be negative about that. It's not the time to be negative about that. Basically, all the money that they've raised to clear the transfer embargo so they can sign this Iranian defensive midfielder that they're looking at. Now, that's all going to have to go towards paying the fine for the behavior of one shithead. I never use this word. One cunt. Yeah. I don't know if you want to bleep that out.
No, not at all. But not at all. That's going in there, mate. Staying in there.
That one edgelord, it must be like 14, 15 years old. He's mate,
I think he's actually older than that, to be honest.
You think?
I think he's older than that. And I think he's done his national service as well. I think he's older than that. What it is, it's another person who, like you see it a lot in Cyprus, not just at APOEL, but with other clubs as well. You got these youngsters, 19, 20-year-olds, 21. They watch a bit of, Fight Club or
Mean Streets. Green Street. Sorry, that one.
Yeah, Green Street. Yeah. Or they might watch a bit of what's that show that we've got in the UK now? I forget what it's called now. Flipping out, I've forgotten. Anyway, whatever it is, but they think they're fighters. They think that they're hard. They think that I'm gonna get away with this, and I can tell my friends and brag about it and say I'm a true ultra. I live the ultra life, motherfucker. You probably work at a beriptero, or you probably, I don't know, have some kind of job that you're not happy with, and you just want to go to work and brag to your mates about it. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. I mean, we've seen it in the UK. Yeah, mm-hmm. We've seen it in the UK. I'm sure you see it in France. A lot of these hoodlums going around the streets, right, doing certain things. Now, again, I'm not trying to deviate from this, but put this lad in Hackney, in Brixton, in Edmonton. Yeah, it's a different world. Put him in the streets in Poland or in Serbia. Yeah. Siberia. Send him to these places and see how hard you are. Because I tell you this, right? It's a disgusting mentality. And to be honest, aside from the fact where he can brag that he's done something like this, and I don't know, maybe gets a high five from some ultras. I don't know. I don't know what he.
He's not.
He's not though. Yeah.
Because
but what I'm saying is, hypothetically, if that's what he thinks is going to happen in his mind, what else does he possibly get from it? Because he can't brag about it on social media because he'll get found. So what does he get out of it? I don't understand personally. I mean, stupid.
It's a rush.
Stupid as stupid does.
It's a rush of blood to the head. That's what it is. It's like other things, right? Is because of obviously this has happened. A lot of other things peripherically are starting to come out as well. Things like, for instance, the way that fans are able to get stuff like firecrackers, flares, etc. into the stadiums, even when there are checks. Because that's another whole fucking thing to talk about. Is do they actually do the checks? Do they?
Come on, let's be honest. We had this Govenda before, but I'll give you the best example I can give from my experience is when I went to the cup final against Ethnigor, and there was an old lady there. She must have been over 60 years old at the turnstile, and she was like, "Can you show me your katafilatlu?" Okay, well there it is. But I'm a normal guy, and there was normal people around me. Imagine you got these people with their balaclavas and their hoodies and that kind of stuff. What are these people going to do? What are they going to do? Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's a cultural thing. It's a mentality thing.
Yep.
Right?
But
and I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Going back to what you say about Vrionides, this guy has got a big decision to make, right? Because you got the referee who's been absolutely shat on. He, in his report, did he not say, I don't know what happened, I didn't see where it came from?
Yeah.
And then you got the police that are saying, we've got the evidence. So what's Vrionides going to do now? Is he going to go, well, the referee didn't see it, so I don't know? Or is he going to say, oh, well, there's evidence here?
There's bloody evidence.
No, but what I'm saying, listen, he's in a corner now.
He's
got a big decision to make. Yeah, he is in a corner. He is. Because Cyprus is a small place. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I'm just telling you straight. It's a small place. Yeah, and this guy has got a big decision to make, right? And it's a decision that could, sorry to say this, affect his life.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
And I'm not exaggerating because there are some tapped people out there. I mean, if there's one lad that can throw a firecracker from 20 odd yards and hit someone, what has happened if the guy's in the street?
Well, there you go.
Sorry.
No. But if they do the checks, and if they do them properly, the older fans are telling the younger fans that are going into the stadium, if you are going to take a firecracker with you, if you're going to take a flare with you, put it down your trousers. Because you're 14 years old, you're not going to get searched in the same way an adult would. Yeah? So it's the kids that are bringing this stuff into the stadiums. Now, another thing which I've been waiting for a while to report on, like maybe if we had a lull in the news at some point, but there hasn't been. But in the Bedalo where the ultras are, there's people stealing shit from other people. Like, they're supposed to be, family, we're APOEL, Monon APOEL, we're all together. There's people stealing shit from people in the stands while the game's on. And then it happens. Who do you report it to? What was it? What was it that Neofididis called it last week? An unchecked madhouse.
An unchecked madhouse, yeah.
Yeah. Unchecked madhouse. Right. Shall I read some statements?
Yeah, well, you got the one from Loisidis?
I've got the Nea Salamina statement.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And then I've also got the Players Union statement as well.
Okay. So I've got Loisidis as well.
There's a reason why I'm reading this one out in full, and I'm going to also read out the Players Union one out in full. But
go on.
So Nea Salamina first. The directors wish to express in writing and publicly their official position regarding last night's match in the second round of the Cup. Unfortunately, we once again witnessed their criminal behaviour, which this time had a serious impact with the injury of our footballer Georgios Papageorgiou. As officially confirmed by the Cyprus police, a firecracker was thrown from the visitors' stand into the area where the substitute football players of our team were warming up. From this unacceptable action, we had the injury of our football player and more specifically hearing loss. Georgios has been prescribed medication and to follow treatment. Beyond that, we are undivided in the official position of the directors, and for this reason, we will once again state our position. As a matter of principle, we argue that games should be judged on the pitch and not in the courtrooms. However, in order for a game to be decided on the pitch, all safety conditions and regulations must be observed. During yesterday's game, there was a flagrant violation of the regulations, and our team was deprived of claiming what they wanted on the pitch. It is now clear that our association bears absolutely no responsibility for yesterday's stoppage of the match, as the firecracker came from the visitor stand. We informed the fans of our club that the directors will do whatever is necessary to ensure the well-intentioned interests of the club, and under no circumstances will we accept intermediate solutions. The facts are clear and justice should be served. The matter is handled by our legal advisors who are in full consultation with the directors. Our club bears no responsibility whatsoever for the stoppage of the match and will handle the situation with everything at our disposal. We hope that from now on, the official position of the club will be conveyed in full, exactly as it is, to avoid misunderstandings. So that's why I had to read that out in full, because they've asked me to read that out in full. But some things in there to state. So they're talking about following the rules and regulations as they should. There was a stoppage. The game didn't start until, say, 4 or 5 minutes after the prescribed start time, because there were flares and smoke grenades fired out by both sets of fans. All right? So, but regardless, for that specific situation where they're talking about Papageorgiou's injury, so remember, we're talking that he's actually been seriously injured there. We're talking about hearing loss. Now, they don't say whether it's temporary or permanent, but regardless, it's a very, very serious thing. Right?
Yeah.
And then there were APOEL fans. I saw a post at one point that said, "I hope he goes deaf." Things like that. It's Jesus Christ, people. It's a person. It's a person, and the only crime he has done, the only crime, perceived crime, is he plays for the other team.
Thassos, let's get it right. It's like I said before, Cyprus is a very small place.
Yeah.
It's so small that you may have a relative in the UK that I know. Or, Roy might have a friend. I mean, Roy's got a friend, lives in Barnet, who I've never met before, but we've got mutual friends. So it's a very small, it's a small world already.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Papageorgiou might have a cousin, a friend, an uncle that's related or knows a relative of the person that's made that post.
Yeah.
Again, do they not think? Clearly they don't. Are they intelligent enough? Clearly not. The whole moral fabric of these people is non-existent. And this is what frustrates me the most, because we look at ourselves and we look at our culture and we look at things that happen and we think that's androbi, that's disgusting. But yet it continues. And you've got these people that hide behind their screens. They hide behind their computers and their smartphones or whatever, and they give it the Billy Big Bollocks. Okay? And the fact is, there's nothing you can do about it unless you start implementing harsh fines or punishments to the clubs. That's the only thing you can do, because that's the only way it will stop. You think it's the only way it would stop these people. But I just hope that, the smart, sane APOEListas are out there will start saying to these people, you are affecting our club. Forget the reputation of the island, forget the safety. I'm just seeing things a different way in a language that maybe some people can understand. Think about what you're doing to your club. As you quite rightly said, the club is in financial turmoil. They tried to raise 2 million or whatever it was in December. They've had to extend it, haven't they? They've extended it now to January this month, right? Because they couldn't raise the funds that they wanted. All of that money is going to go towards a bloody fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's ridiculous, but these people don't think about the consequences. Every action has a reaction. It's that simple.
Yep. I mean, like I said already, I think. When was this? It must have been ages ago. It must have been when the Anorthosis fans threw the stuff at Milan Knockblock, where I was saying basically first offence fine, second offence no fans, third offence points deductions. You start knocking points off, and teams will seriously suffer, and that's when you'll see some people's behaviour correct itself. Now, then it depends or not whether anybody's brave enough to change the regulations for that to happen. Shall I read the Players' Union one? Yeah, I'll
Please.
go for it. Yes. So, intense reflection and indignation, more than any other time, prevails in the board of directors of the Players' Union, since attacks against football players during matches continue and create more insecurity for the athletes of the sport. The highlight of the latest unacceptable incidents was the injury of Georgios Papageorgiou in the Nea Salamina APOEL match, which also caused the match to be stopped. The firecracker that fell next to the football player while he was warming up resulted in his transfer to the hospital. According to medical opinion, the unfortunate footballer suffered hearing loss in the right ear. Fortunately, we did not have the same results in the Omonoia 29th of May Anorthosis match, where a flare fell onto the field during the match. Gentlemen, the situation has reached an impasse. We can no longer operate on wishful thinking, and actions are needed. The matter was discussed last night by the board of directors of the Players' Union, and various views were put on the table which are being reviewed. Tomorrow's scheduled meeting with the Cyprus FA at 11:30 becomes even more urgent after the latest events. The board of directors of the Players' Union will present their recommendations to the FA leadership, and we will discuss together ways for Cypriot football to get out of the impasse it has fallen into. Note that in this context, the Players' Union had the meeting yesterday with the relevant police department, during which measures and proposals to deal with the phenomenon of violence were discussed. We remind you that we are waiting for the arrangement of a meeting with the Minister of Justice and the Chief of Police. It goes without saying that the responsibility of suppressing the violence lies with the state. And finally, political will is needed to solve the problem. As the Players' Union, we will not stand idly by. We cannot wait for the next attack on a football player to react. We cannot wait for the next injury or even death. We are not far from that scenario. We have passed the point of no return. Once again, we call on the state to assume its responsibilities and crack down on hooliganism. Those few are in the stands who commit illegal acts leave the state and its principles exposed, as well as the normal fan. This is enough. Take some action. Now,
mate, do you know what? I need to mention my friend Nima, who's got the Sempre Inter podcast and the Italian football pod. And he sent me a voice note today. He goes, what is in the water in the Mediterranean? Because this happens in Italy, Spain, Cyprus, Turkey, but Greece. What is going on here? What is going on here? Because I personally think this is a cultural thing whereby people turned a blind eye to it, and their reaction is, don't worry about it, things will change, but they won't do anything about the change. Now, we are very, very close. I think we're very, very close to there being stadiums being shut, fans being banned from stadiums, even the innocent ones. We're very close to regulations being implemented very similar to in the UK, where you're not going to have people allowed to stand, allowed to smoke. It could happen. And while people are going to say to me, yeah, but it's Cyprus and that will never happen. Believe me, if it's going to hurt clubs financially, I can see them all getting together and saying, right, we're going to do this, we want that. And they're going to work much closer to the police to the point where ultras won't want to show up. And of course, it's going to hurt the clubs financially. Of course it will. But it swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, like the players' union says, the point of no return has been passed. I mean, for me, it passed a long time ago, passed ages ago. This has to stop. This has to stop now. Here's an example for you, right? If my son starts to mess around too much with his toys to the point where he's about to break them or he's about to break something, furniture, whatever, you take the toy off him. He cries for a bit, he yells, he goes, but if you don't give him back the toy, he starts to behave himself, and then you can have it back again, yeah? Once he starts to behave himself. It's simple as that, isn't it? So you can't be responsible when you're at the football. No football. And I don't, like, things are going to be promised, hands are going to be shook, and then, they're all going to rub each other's dicks and nothing's going to happen.
Mate, to be honest,
nothing's going to happen because not unless the players, like the players' union said, if nothing happens and this situation continues, the players will go on strike.
Yeah, and they should.
And they should.
But this is the thing. It's all well and good making these threats, saying, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. When the referees threatened to do it, they did it. The players, however, I don't know. Because I don't know. I haven't seen any statements or anything come out from the players or even the clubs. Normally, when something happens, like, for example, when we had the situation with the referees, all the clubs came out with a statement to say, we back the referees, all of this is unacceptable. Apart from the clubs involved, have you seen anything come out from other clubs to...
Not yet.
To condemn it? Nothing.
Not yet.
Nothing. You say not yet. It's been 24 hours.
I don't know. Maybe, let's hear all the facts first or whatever. I don't know.
Come on. Forget the facts. The fact is, a player has been hit by a firecracker. You don't even need to know who did it. The fact is, a player has been hit.
Yep.
So all they need to do is come out and say, well, we condone what happened. The player safety is imperative. They're the ones that provide the entertainment. They're the ones that you guys come to see. Without the players, there's no football.
There you go.
I'm not trying to be funny. They had the show racism, the red card signs at the weekend. They've had the anti-gambling ones. They've had all sorts of, awareness strategies, but they haven't come out to say, come on. And again, look, bro, we know footballers ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of these guys are foreign players, so they don't read the press. They don't know what's going on. They hear this and that. And to be honest, a lot of them watch our pod to keep up with what's going on.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. But at the same time, like, what are these guys thinking? What are they thinking? You got players from Denmark, from Sweden. That stuff doesn't happen there. You got players from the UK, from France. That stuff doesn't really happen there unless it's Marseille.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It doesn't happen as often as it does in Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys have come to Cyprus, a small island, And they're thinking, all right, weather's nice, people are nice, culture. Well, you'd think most of the people are nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then this comes out. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it happened to a local lad as well. It's not as if it happened to a foreign player. So, again, it's arse over tit as far as I'm concerned. But we've spoken enough about what happened with the Salamina APOEL game. Something else happened. It was between Omonoia and Anorthosis. As I said, the Omonoia fans weren't allowed in the stadium, or they didn't want to go in the stadium, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They somehow managed to erect a big screen outside the stadium. You know, the chief of police said, I don't know how the fuck they got the electricity to do that. But anyway, and what they were doing, someone managed to launch a flare into the stadium from outside. And I'll bring it up here. If they're watching the game, look at the referee ducking out the way. He sees it coming.
And then, almost on the centre circle. You couldn't aim it better.
Yeah. You see the player walking towards that shit's going to explode in a second. Now I'm walking away. But then after the game, you'd see, you got the evidence of this big screen outside the stadium, right? Mm-hmm. And then it kicked off with the police. The fans of both clubs ended up kicking off with the police.
Yep.
So is it going to come to the point now where, sorry to say this, they're going to have to get the fucking army involved? Honestly.
Well,
it's like a civil war.
When APOEL went to go play at Bollon, right? At the when I went to go watch the game, they had riot police there, and they had the big blue water cannon thing kind of parked up near where the away fans come into the stadium. Don't know where that thing was. I don't know where that thing was yesterday. But it should have been there.
Well,
but anyway,
it's bigger than the stadium, to be honest.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So the whole point about Omonoia does Manhattan, right, is that they don't believe in the fan cards. That's one of the things that they don't like. So the Omonoia end of the RCB was empty because all the fans refused the fan card and therefore would not be able to enter the stadium. That's why they set up that big screen. Like I said, no one knows how they managed to get the electricity to put the big screen up. Even the chief of police was like, somebody needs to ask the fucking question where the hell they got the electricity from to be able to do that in the first place. But yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And right, that would have been that one by itself would have been main event any other week, month, anywhere else in the world. Us, it gets second billing. And it's a 2-3 minute thing.
Unreal. Well, the president of the Equality Police Department, Nikos Loizidis, he gave an interview with Morning Review, Bolidis 107.6, and he was saying things like, with regards to the two matches, he goes, he wanted 6 MMAD platoons. But where will I find the rest of the police force to perform my duties elsewhere? She has a point. If all of them are fucking at the football, then all the looters can run riot in Bolivia. I don't know. He said, is there any sane person who thinks they, as in the firecrackers, got into the stands from the entrances? They come in via the staff of the teams. There was a member of staff in the stands in the last game who was holding the mobile phone, giving instructions on which fireworks to throw. The reason these things happen in the stadium is because we as police do not put our own regulations on how a game is played. It is not possible to allow marches to fans. It is not possible to limit the number of fans visiting the stadiums or visiting the away fans. It's not possible to place some regulations on where certain games will be played. There you go. So they can't even move matches, apparently.
Well, I mean, that's from the Dimitris Hamatsos. They said that only 400 people really should be going there.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're probably going to come up to. That's probably the next thing they said, right?
Yeah, well, there's always goes. They are the same factors that are making fun of you and the public, that they want violence in the stadiums to be stopped. Normally, you know what should have been done. The leadership had to say about moving fans up to 500. We will say when each game will be played. 2 high danger games took place. Am I allowed to be the police and have GOP and each of its staff dictate where they will play, and to put the risk of safety of every sports fans and every citizen, although I get 6 platoons? It's a shame. And he started talking about the stewards, they can, were they non-existent? He said, no, they just don't have enough money to pay them. He then spoke about the Omonoia Koscielnia game. And he said, I'm allowed to say that the police sent a letter that the stadium, as you mentioned, has been unsuitable for 6 months. But whose crime is it? We who go and police the game, instead of saying we don't go, the game won't happen. For God's sake, we enforce the rules. If someone dies, who will they blame? Should I send a letter to GOP and have them answer me? Shall we tell them a 5th team cannot play in Larnaca because there are too many of them in the province? I mean, there's a whole load of stuff which is on our Twitter account. This is Mappa. You can read it. It will take forever and a day.
Yeah, but basically, so I think I brought it up last week. Dimitris Hamatsos, they said that only 400 people should play there, and they tried to arrange a meeting between the police, the Cyprus FA, some department or other, and somebody from Omonoia Koscielnia. The only people that showed up to the meeting was somebody from the police and somebody from the department of whatever that they had organized it with. The whole point is, they said that the stadium is unsuitable for the amount of people that are normally going there because the home fans and the away fans share the same stand. Capacity is about 1,500. Dimitris Hamatsos, it's all in one stand, and everybody has to share the same toilets, the same blah, 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 blah. Now, the police said that only 400 people should go, and not away fans. Now, obviously, Omonoia 2 Electric Boogaloo have got a lot of fans, a lot of passionate fans. So that stadium, I can't call it a stadium, that ground is full to the brim every game that they have. So 1,500 people, bam, rammed into there. That's not counting away fans. When there's only supposed to be 400. The police also said, so that whole thing with the five teams in Larnaca, because you've got AEK, Anorthosis, Nea Salamina, Othello, and AES. And you remember, AES, at the beginning of the season, didn't know whether or not they were going to play there because they'd signed the deal with the company that runs the Anorthosis Epistrophy to play there. And then the police came out and said, no, you can't play there. And then 2 weeks later, they announced, okay, we can actually play there.
Yeah.
So who decided that?
It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
Exactly. But AES being in Larnaca instead of Lemeso is because of the money that the Tyrio was charging. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. But the police are right. They've got certain controls, but the people at the top, at the FA and at teams, are not listening to the advice and the recommendations that the police are providing, unless they're to be used as scapegoats. Yeah. For instance, don't have the Greek FA Cup final here. It's going to be a security issue. Oh, the police said so we can't have the Greek FA Cup final here, even though they didn't want the Greek FA Cup final there anyway. So,
their priorities are all over the place.
Yep.
They're all over the place. And, I'm sure we're going to touch on this later, even though it could take another 4 or 5 hours. But Avrionides handed out 79 fines today. 79 fines. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, bloody hell, that's another knees up in Spain, isn't it?
Yeah.
The CFA.
Yep.
It's another knees up. Hey, you know what? With 79 fines, they might go to Dubai now.
Yep.
You never know. Honestly, it's a bloody joke. Well, mate, I think we've spoken about this for long enough. We've done 50 minutes on this.
Yeah.
So we talk about the actual football.
Yeah.
It's only going to take 5 minutes to the way the things are.
Football. Yeah. Play the theme tune.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah.
Pull it up. Oh, blimey.
Tasty.
Yes, indeed. Very, very, very tasty. So, where shall we begin? Let me just.
I'll tell you
bring
where
it
we
up here.
should begin.
Go on.
We should begin with the tastiness from the foodfromcyprus.com.
Absolutely.
Very
Good. Very good. See, you're better at
NCN
doing this than me.
12
That's our
for
discount.
12% discount at checkout.
Lovely jubbly. Well done, boy.
Ah,
Well done, boy.
you know.
Yeah.
You know.
There you go. Right. Let's begin with Carmiosa going to Othello. Larnaca, right? Beating them by 3-0. Tsukala, Dumbia, and Rossi with the goals for Carmiotissa, taking up to 11th place in the table, above Othello by a point. Piece of piss, and you could say Kalinichta to Mr. Shkazni, correct or no?
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to do the thing? Do the thing.
No, you can't make me do the thing.
All right.
You can't make me do the thing.
Okay,
That's
all right.
not nice. That's not nice. We mean this one.
Oh no, not that one. Not that one.
Listen, I've got no Amir Varda stuff for you tonight, my guy. So don't worry. You got away.
No, it was going to be the image of the conga line of the people that have
yes.
their
Here we go. So Mr. Shkazni,
yeah, there he goes.
He's out of here.
Yeah,
was he number 12 gone now? Number 12?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah.
Yep, 12 managerial sackings this season in Cyprus, and the Othello head coach is there. That's right, in the first division. And the Othello are now with their third head coach, Mr. Saka.
Yes, Kostis Sakas. He's now been manager of Doxa and Othellos 3 times for both of them now. So he started at Othellos and was in charge of them when they actually got promoted the other time they were in the Protathlima. All right. So he left following their relegation in May 2016 after 4 seasons, but returned 4 months later to lead them until the end of a 5th season. He then took a break for a year, took over at Alkioroglini when they were in the first division for 1 season in the Protathlima. Then he had those 3 stints at Doxa. Relegated with Othellos, then relegated with Alkioroglinis, but that time it was only by goal difference. Survived thanks to the COVID break with Doxa, and then survived by 2 points with Doxa. So it's an upward trajectory. So survive with 4 points for Othello.
Yep.
Follow the patterns. Follow the patterns in it. Yeah.
That's right. And that's for Carmiotissa with Ruslan's favourite head coach. Another victory for them. 3 victories under this guy.
Yeah.
3 victories. Yeah. He's trying to be nominated for manager of the season. You could tell.
No, is it? Is he going for it?
He's going for it, mate. He's going for it with a 4-1-4-1. He's going for it.
Yeah. Well, saying that, Othello's defense was absolutely shocking. I mean, even the Slavic, right? His debut only lasted 23 minutes because he got 2 yellow cards, got sent off.
Yep.
And then there was that second goal. The keeper gets caught out like David Seaman for Ronaldinho's goal in the World Cup.
Yep,
you remember? Right. he's flapping at it as it floats in, almost exactly the same.
Daldul isn't playing. He isn't playing.
Yeah, but Taldul had a nightmare few games. That's why he got taken off.
So I think he's got a case to get back in the team now, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the game was over by the 37th minute. Carmiotissa were basically walking the ball for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And by the way, that was 1 of 4 red cards this weekend.
Yeah.
7 games, 4 red cards.
Yeah. People were being pricks on the pitch as well.
Exactly. So, on to the next, my guy.
Yep.
On to the next. And AEK beat Salamina by a 0-0. Another victory for AEK. Happy days for them. Goal scorer was the Brazilian
Clarice Mario.
I'm just going to call him
Clarice
Rodriguez.
Mario.
I'm going to call him Rodriguez. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. AEK still in 6th. They're now 7 points ahead of Apoel. Yep. Happy days for them.
Yeah, AEK are buzzing. Now it's obviously based off of a really good defense. Bearing in mind that also they had lots of chances to win the game, especially after Danny Bejarano got himself another red card, so that's 2 now. He's actually the dirtiest player in the Protathlima, based on cards.
Oh,
yeah,
based on cards. Okay,
based on cards. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he showers or not. I'm talking about. Yeah, or if he likes being crapped on while they're doing it.
Stop! Stop! He's so dirty. He needs to bathe in Siva. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my days!
But yeah, like Transfermarkt has a point system for the players, right? So you've got a point for yellow. What's that? A point for a yellow, 3 points for a second yellow, and then 5 points for a red. So Danny Bejarano is number 1 with 6 yellows and 2 second yellows. Then is Sergio Tejera with 7 yellows and 1 second yellow. And then Bojan Kovacevic at Karmiodisa has got 5 yellows and 1 red.
Okay.
And then there's a load of players with the same points. But the actual player with the most cards is Nikos Achnas's Manuel Di Riondo. He's got 9 yellow cards. Now, when I put on Twitter about Di Riondo signing for Achna, I also made reference to his record previously and called him a shithouse. There you go. 9 yellow cards in how many games have there been? How many games have there been? It's what, 18 games now? So he's averaging a card every 2 games.
Christmas come early.
Anyway, there was 2 things as well. 2 more things I wanted to bring up for this is that Franz Sol missed an open goal. He hit the post, but it can be forgiven a little bit because the angle was very acute. The person who can't be forgiven, though, is Per Pons, where he hit the crossbar from about 4-5 yards out, 4-5 meters out.
Yes.
Open goal, completely open, smashes it onto the crossbar, and then it bounces all the way out. Never mind, my guy. But yeah, there you go.
Listen, it's all psychological, right?
Yeah, it's psychological. I think Ben Shimon's gonna have to get in that player's mind to make sure his psychology stays.
He's going to get one of those watches that the hypnotists do.
Exactly.
You will not miss from 5 yards out. You will not miss from 5 yards out. It's like, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you saw them actually. Remember Asterix?
Yeah.
The Gaul, yeah?
Yeah. He's French, you know.
Of course, right? They released the books, the comics, but they also released the films, the movies.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the animation one.
Yeah.
And there was one, I think it was Asterix, he went to Egypt. And it was a 12 tasks of Asterix. And one of the tasks, he had to go into this, let's just say it was a mental asylum, but it was actually a hotel. Mm-hmm. And he needed to get permit number A38. And he went to reception and he asked the lady and she told him to go to the 4th floor. And he went to the 4th floor and there was a guy sitting on a swing going crazy. And he went in there, spoke to him. They said, oh, he needs to go to the 6th floor. Anyway, the story is they've just taken him to all of these different rooms where they tried to drive him mad. And he's got permit number A38. You could just imagine, Ben Shimon just, getting his players out of this, saying, right, you lot don't need to be in here anymore. I'm going to treat you good. That's what it's like under Ultra, Get out wide and put it in the box. Get out wide and put it in the box. It's in the head. Out wide, put it in the box. Out wide, put it in the box. Out wide, put it in the box. And Rafa Lopez is like, my head hurts. My head hurts from all that heading.
Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Farage wakes up in the middle of the night and goes, Rosales is overlapping. He's not overlapping. Where are you? Anyway.
Speaking of Farage, he's got 100 appearances for AEK as of...
Yes, congratulations.
As of today, Wednesday. So
there you go.
Good stuff, boss.
There you go.
Yes.
Right. On to the next game, which I believe is Buffon trouncing Ayers by 4-0. Valakari, Tankovic, Dalinia, and Bruno Mars finally getting on the score sheets. the biggest waste of money I've ever seen in Cyprus. Well, no, there's been worse, but I just say him because I don't really rate him. But yeah, easy work for Buffer, right, mate?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Buffer were 3-0 up even before the sending off.
Yep.
But yeah, and then Bruno getting that last goal as well.
Stat padding.
Yeah. Don't call it a comeback.
He's a kind of player that'll get 15 goals in the season, and when you look at the stats, they've all been in like the 89th minute where the game is like 4-0 at time. That's him.
Yep.
That's the kind of player that he is. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
At Omonoia, he did okay, but I could see that he weren't that level. People were telling me, you're chatting shit. And since he's gone to Buffer, he's done nada.
Yeah.
Diddly squat.
Yep.
So
pretty much
vindicated.
Yes, you have been vindicated, sir.
I have receipts.
Yes. Now, going from the what would you call that? The grenade that is Bruno Mars.
Very good.
Get it?
Very good.
To something a bit better. Hey, there you go. So, a Bafos youth team player scored his first goal as well for the club, Dalinia.
Yes.
Now, he was up front with Lisandro last season in Bafos' under-19s. So Lisandro was scoring all the goals, and then you had Dalinia, who I think was second top goal scorer in the under-19s league last season. So it's nice. Even if he's Argentinian and Italian, it's nice to see some young players come through. But people should really look at that Antonio tackle. It's worth 2 or 3 red cards. It's proper it's horrible. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a horrible tackle. Should mention as well, Ayes signed a player. Ayes got the clear for staying in the league. Yes. So Ayes have signed a Cape Verdean player called Euclides Tavares Andrade. Clear. That's his name. Yeah. And it wasn't even Ayes who had announced it first. It was the team that he was leaving from that announced it first. OS Belenenses in Portugal. And they also announced that they're retaining 20% of his rights. I don't know what that means, if it's sell on or what, but Ayes have signed a player. There's also rumors circulating that they're about to get Manu Garcia. So, for fans of the podcast,
we shall not discuss this. Well, I shall not discuss this anyway.
Yes. I was just going to say, for fans of this podcast, it'd be good to see him on our screens again, wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. But going back to Buffer.
Yeah.
You mentioned they're under-19s. This season, they had a centre-forward on loan called Glebs Patika, youngster from Riga. Mm-hmm. And he was tearing up the under-19s. I mean, he had 11 in 12. And he was actually on loan, and he's gone back to his club in Riga. And I think he's got like 30 goals in 30 games at youth level. He's an incredible talent. But they haven't missed him at under 19 level. I mean, they're still top of the league. I think, let's have a look. They're 5 points clear of Omonoia. But I was watching their game against AEK, and they scored a penalty. It was a Panenka penalty. Mm. And I'm thinking, when he scored, I was like, that looks really cool. But the goalkeeper almost got to it. But anyway, I digress. They've got a player called Dalinia, as you know, you mentioned the guy that scored the goal. And I think that what Buffer are doing, and they're doing this very well, they're bringing in a lot of young, talented players. They're developing them. But what they're also doing is that they're keeping them in Cyprus long enough so they can get their citizenship. Now, whether or not they'll decide to play for the national team is another thing, but it also makes it easier for them to sell them on, especially if they're South American that have an EU passport. So watch this space, because there's quite a few talented players at Buffalo. Let me see. There's one player in particular. Where is he? Ragnar Krotz. He's another decent player. He's a decent player. And also, where's the other one? I had his name written down. Where's he gone now? I forget where's bloody gone now. No. Where is he? Dos Santos. I can't remember which position he is, though. But he's another one that seems to be pulling up trees in Cyprus. So, anyway. It is what it is. Yeah. Right. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Okay. Let's go. Let's move on to the next. And Anorthosis beats APOEL by 1-0. Kasama with the winner. And Anorthosis, despite all the injuries, they're getting players back now.
Yep.
And they are causing a bit of a stir. Do you know what, mate? I look at this Anorthosis team, right? And I know they lost against you guys the other week.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about them. I don't know whether it's that they're just extremely organized or they've got this team spirit about them. There's something there. I can't quite put my finger. Maybe it's a combination of both.
It's scary. It's scary.
It is.
And now they've got Guerrero back as well. So he scored a free kick.
There's going to be problems.
Yeah, he scored a free kick last night. So
big boy problems.
Yeah. Also, another thing to add on to this, right? Again, Correa, Anderson Correa is playing. He's like being prime.
He's a man possessed, isn't he?
Yeah, prime Marcelino, prime
Marcelo.
I don't know what the hell he's doing playing like that, but if he keeps playing like that, Gaspar won't want him in the national team anymore.
Maybe he's buying his food from Cyprus.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
He's using the NCN12 for the discount code, and he's getting his grub from there.
Well, listen, you know what? Maybe he took the constructive criticism we've given him previously.
Oh yeah, maybe decided the tweets.
Yeah, and decided that I need to show those guys how I do, and he be do good right now. He's doing very, very well. Now that game was marred with a little bit of controversy on the pitch.
Yes.
Whether or not APOEL should have had a penalty. So APOEL sent a video out after the game to the media, but not us, because we're dickheads, so obviously we're not going to get it. But they sent a video out to the media, but for them to review why they didn't get this penalty, because they were confused as to why they didn't get this penalty. But the footage they sent out was recorded off a phone from another phone, instead of, the actual match footage that everybody could see. Now, so there's a discussion point from me is the tackle is dangerous from the Anorthosis player, but he doesn't actually touch the APOEL player, does he? He gets the ball. It's a stamp. He gets the ball with the stamp. But he doesn't actually make contact, does he, with the APOEL player?
Let's have a look, because you've got it on your Twitter account. So let me just see if I can bring it up. Just bear with you one moment, please. So we have this one here.
The footage is really fuzzy.
Yeah. Here we go. I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know. Let's have a look again. Let's see if it's slowed down. I don't know.
Because I saw a better definition of that video.
Yeah.
And still doesn't look like the APOEL player has been touched.
Well, look, from that angle, I can't make head nor tail of it.
No, you can't. And there's definite intent in there. Because
intent to foul or to win the ball?
Well, no, I don't. It doesn't look like there's intent to win the or just win the ball. Let's say, because he stamps on the ball. It's like fucking. He proper comes hammering down on the ball with his foot. It's not to poke the ball away. He stamps on it.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think it's just someone that doesn't know how to tackle, and maybe maybe I think he probably wanted to win the ball, but maybe he felt that by doing that extra motion with the stamp, it would have given him extra stretch, if that makes sense. It's like a flick out. I don't know. Maybe he just can't tackle. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's just the inability to win the ball.
Yeah.
Period. That's it.
When I look at it, I don't see any contact with the other player.
Well, this is the other thing.
Yeah.
How can you give a penalty if there's no contact? But
exactly.
You know, we've seen it happen in Cyprus. But
yeah, we've definitely seen it, and of course, there can't be a game where we talk about Anorthosis where they don't complain about the fucking referee. So they win 1-0 and they put a complaint about the referee, and they say that we're complaining about the referee even though we did get the win because we need better quality referees. Now, this is also the second game week in a row where they've had a foreign referee after they complained about having Cypriot referees, right? So, what do you want? You can't have Cypriot referees. You can't have foreign referees. You can't have Pierluigi Collina because he retired 20 years ago. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
AI. They want AI referees.
Like, what the hell, man? Anyway.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know. I just want to send a message to Sandis and say, listen, if you had the choice of what type of referee, where would you get these refs from? Which leagues? Which leagues have the best referees?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Because it's not
just Mazic isn't about anymore. Can't blame him.
And the new head of the referees is bringing referees from Serie A.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be, proper, big quality, high quality, big experience referees. So if you're saying they're not good enough, then who is?
Do you think this is a way of generating some kind of deflection tactics if they don't end up winning the league? Because they'll be like, well, we cry about the referees all season, so they're the ones to blame, not our inability to win it.
They weren't even thinking. Well. They weren't even thinking about going for the league this season. Beginning of the season, they said that this season was a consolation season, like what APOEL are doing, and it's just that it's just that they've found the players, they found the coach, they're doing everything correctly, and everything's fitting into place. So even if they're in this transition season, they're very, very, very close, and they're going to be up there at the end, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got nothing to complain about.
No, of course not. Of course not. Anyway, speaking of nothing to complain about, Thassos, I can't complain. Yep. I can't complain on Omonoia. We have a new head coach. We have a new style of play. We're scoring goals. Lovely goals as well. We beat Doxa 5-1. Goals from Loizu, the stat padder Roman Bezos. Gaguli scored from the spot. Gusulo scored from 6 yards out. Even Simic got on the score sheet. Adam Matthews scored an own goal on his birthday. Unfortunately, Alex didn't keep a clean sheet, but Alex kept the score down. Light work, but sensational as far as I'm concerned. First half, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the Doxa Renaissance is over in fantastic fashion. You could say a complete prolapse for Rekdal's first game in charge of Omonoia. Did you see what I did there?
Very good.
There you go. Because everybody talks about, what was it, rectal dysfunction? No.
Rectal dysfunction.
Nah, man. rectal prolapse. Anyway, so even Bezos is turning up to be prime Ronaldo against the team bottom of the league. Bottom of the league, Bezos shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm here. Remember me? Remember this guy?" He'll turn back into prime Bezos, next game probably. But
no, it's Ayers next, another cannon.
Okay, so he should be all right then.
He'll get a hat trick in that one for sure.
Yeah. I just want to, now that I've got the platform to do this, because I wanted to talk about this. Sofroni did not know how to use Bezos, right? Bezos is a player, is a number 10 that you use against a defense that will probably have a little bit less experience or isn't as
organized
or skillful, right? Mm-hmm. Because he'll pull out a pass to be like, he'll pull out a pass that will blind them, right? But if you play a player like Bezos against a defense with experience and organization, like say against, I don't know, APOEL or just trying to think of another organized defense now.
Aris, for example.
Yeah.
Apollon, for example. Yeah. Anorthosis, for example. Funny that, have you noticed a pattern?
Yeah.
Notice a pattern.
Where, especially with, say, your APOEL or AEK with the really old defenses that they've got, is it probably makes sense to put him on like in the 80th minute because the defense has been run ragged by the number 10 that actually does runs, run, pressure, run, pressure. But he didn't do that. And I think this is what your rectal is going to get correct this time around. So he's probably going to play Bezos against Ayers as well. And then what's your next difficult game, let's say?
AEK and Buffalo.
Well, yeah. So against AEK, you'll see that Bezos won't come on until like the 75th minute or something like that.
Look, he played Bezos as almost a cross and hybrid of an 8 and a 10.
Yeah.
So he'd start in centre midfield and he'd move forward into number 10 role. And yeah, he was playing balls over the top and trying these Hollywood passes. I mean, he got an assist for Loizu, but that was one of the worst assists I've ever seen in my life. Honestly. Left back couldn't trap a bag of sand. Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, he's the kind of player that you have to beat the teams below you.
Yep.
That's the kind of player that you have to beat your Garmiodisas, your Ayers, your Othello. That's the kind of player that you want. He's a flat track bully. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Against the big teams where he's lacking in pace, where he's rash and he doesn't like being pressured, because we've seen it time and time again with him. When he's got two men around him, he shits himself.
Yeah.
And he's limited as to what he can and can't do. And people saying, yeah, but he's 33 years old. I don't care. He's played at a very high level. Okay. He should know better. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it is what it is. The fact is, I'm happy that we have a coach that was willing to play expansive football, that wasn't afraid to give the players the creative freedom to move the ball freely, to encourage them one-touch pass, just the basics. Mm-hmm. And I know this isn't going to be how we play for the rest of the season. There's going to be games where it's going to be tight and we're going to have to strangulate teams. I don't care, because it seems that this coach is willing to adapt to the opponent as opposed to, well, I'm going to play a 4-4-1-1 and inshallah, that's it. Like the last guy. But I don't want to talk about the last guy.
No.
The last guy is done.
Yeah. Yes.
Done and dusted. I don't want to hear his name ever again unless he joins another club. And even then, you're going to see the same shit football. So good luck to whoever has him. Probably end up with the national team, the way that things are. But anyway, Doxa, by the way. Sim played, Alex played. Alex was undoubtedly, if Loizu was man of the match for us, Alex was man of the match for them. He kept them in the game for even though it was 4-1 at half time, he kept it from being a cricket score. But the one thing I will say, and I'm going to do a video montage of this one day. when I have the time, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to go through every game I can think of that has involved my mate Ernest Asante.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time he gets the ball, 9 times out of 10, when he gets the ball, the commentator is going to say, "On a Sunday, Bone Grioros." Asante, who is quick. That is the tagline. That is what they say. I only heard his name mentioned twice during the game, and twice that's what they said. And I guarantee that happened when it was at Ike with us. I'm telling you, I'm going to do a video montage. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find the clips, put them together, and I might even put it with Ace of Base playing in the background.
Yes, because Asante is a fast boy. He's a very fast boy.
He's quick. He's very quick.
He's
anyway.
Quick. Now, do we need to talk about Loizo or not? I just very quickly,
go on.
Right? Every club and their dog wants to sign him on loan with an option to buy at the end of the season. He was linked with Plymouth, Heerenveen, Reggiana, Palermo, and FC Basel. I don't know if you want to chuck some more teams in there, just so we can have some shits and giggles.
Leeds United, I've heard as well.
Oh, of course. Should we put Zulte Waregem in there as well, just to laugh about it?
We can. So let's put LA Galaxy as well. Fuck it.
Yeah, and Granada.
Granada, yes.
Because of there we go. Omonoia revealed
Zenit St. Petersburg.
Hey, there you go. Good one. Omonoia revealed that they had 2 offers, but neither of them are any good, so I've put them to bed. They are, however, willing to let him go in the summer or now for a good offer when standing his way, should that good offer arrive. So far, there's been no toys thrown out the pram from Loizo, unlike last time, or what Gavril has done. Also revealed in the same thing is that there was an offer for Lang, which they also put in the bin. Now, I know your thoughts on it, but as I'm supposed to be impartial, being outside of the Omonoia fan lot, just accept the offer, man. Let him go.
Let him go. Let him go.
Like my dad says to my mom about her kids. Let him go. Let him fly away. Let him go. Yeah.
Cyprus exo.
Yeah, Cyprus exo. Launch him.
Oh my god. Nah, mate, listen. The Loizo situation, I wanted to discuss it on No Choftas, but I'll just do something very briefly here, right?
Yeah.
Notice he is collaborating with CAA Base, which is a very, very big agency. Okay. It would not surprise me if some members of the press have had names of clubs leaked to them saying, "Oh, look, Peterborough are interested. Plymouth are interested. FC Basel are interested, Mr. Swiss football expert. Heerenveen are interested, Mr. Dutch football expert." Because that's what good agents do. That's what they do. And for the fact that the lad hasn't kicked off is probably because, number one, he's learned from his mistake. Or, number two, his agent has said to him, "Wind your neck in, son. Leave it with us." Just simple. And he listened. And he listened. As for Adam Lang, couldn't care less.
Yep.
Could not care less. He doesn't offer anything anymore. Doesn't offer anything anymore. I'm sorry to say this. And yes, he had a great 2.5, 3 seasons for us. But the only reason why we haven't got rid of him is because, well, the club makes money when he goes on international duty.
Yeah.
You know, what I find quite funny is that his agent has been talking to the press saying, "Oh, my client will have to leave." He's got a contract.
Yep.
Runs out next year. Not 2024, 2025.
Yep.
So, Mr. Agent, get on the phone to a club in Greece, in Turkey, wherever, and ask him to pay up.
Yep.
Because you not get him if you don't have no money.
Yep.
That's how it works. Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, bro. Another bit of bad news for you guys. APOEL losing 2-1 to Ethnigo. Goals from Enzo Cabrera. 2 of them from the guy that you shat on all over Discord.
Yeah.
And Domane grabbed 1 for APOEL. I thought you guys were going to go on to win this game, believe it or not, with half an hour to go, because you can always see it happening.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for you guys, you took the L, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. You already mentioned me shitting on Cabrera before the game because Ilya for Achna was suspended for the game. So I basically turned around and said, it's probably going to be a 2-0 win for APOEL. Achna, I don't see Cabrera doing much without Ilya and just Pechlivani. Fuck me, I guess. APOEL hit the post 3 times, right? And Bogatinov pulled out some cracking saves as well. He was like prime Buffon. And on top of that, Belic was prime David James. Like absolute clangers for both of Achna's goals.
I'd say more Taibi than anything. Taibi at Man United.
No, it wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't like try to pick up the ball and watch it go underneath your legs bad. But yeah, it was the first goal, he sees the cross come in and he ums and ahs about coming out and punching and grabbing for it, and then he moves back to his goal, does that a bit late, and Cabrera gets his header, puts it in the net. The second one, I said the second one, same issues. Belic has a bit of a nightmare goal. But yeah, we hit the post 3 times. Ephraim hit the post in the 111th minute. Some people, obviously, you can't make it up, but some people were obviously saying that was planned all along. That's why there was 111 minutes of injury time to see whether or not APOEL could get an equaliser. And that, there was a deal between Petridis and Gigis to make sure Achna got some points. Although, if that was the case, the finishing from APOEL players has got to be spot on. Because again, they must have been aiming for the post to hit it 3 times during the game. But yeah, it's a perennial problem for APOEL. While we're getting the goals to win games, there are so many missed chances. And that's probably what's, if anything's going to cost us the league, it's, well, one, the fact that we're not going to have any fans at our games, and two is there's not that even like 15 goal a season striker or 12 goal a season striker. It's not even that. Domane is a carbon copy of Gvidaya. He's someone who's going to run through the ground for you. He's going to header the ball, drop down. He's going to put pressure on the defenders. He's going to press, run around, pass, do all the things. And then he gets in front of the goal and he freezes. He did get a goal today. He did get a goal in that game and a goal in the game before as well. But, 2 goals from him, and I think Vilitaya is on 3 or 4 for the season so far, is a terrible return up front. And it's such a good thing that we've got players like Marquinhos, Dongala, and Villafañez as well. And
you were going to say Wilson, weren't you?
No, I was not going to mention.
You were going to say Fedfazidis, weren't you?
The only good, obviously, there's another good thing coming around the corner is that Donis is slowly picking up his fitness. So we should see
until the next time. Yeah. Until the next time that Achilles goes or the hammy goes. I'm just look. You just know it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Or if it happens, let it happen in May.
It's going to happen
after we've lifted the title.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm sorry to say this. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
But he's a really good player.
No, he's a good player, and it's a shame that he's been blighted by injuries. But you just know it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if; it's when.
Well, like I said, when it happens, hopefully it happens in May, and we've already won the title by then. Because he's going to go on a goal and assist run.
How many times have you dropped a glass and it hasn't broken?
I've got carpets. No. No. Yep, you're right.
I'm just
You're
saying,
right.
he's made out of glass.
You're right.
Sorry. He's like Louis Sahar, Mr.
Well,
Glass.
well, hopefully we don't have any other Agridas defenders try and take his ankle out while he
No.
scores.
But at the same time, you look at the state of those pitches.
Yep.
I mean, it's no surprise that he gets injuries.
Yep.
Because they are dog shit.
Yep.
Might as well have
Speaking
dog
of
shit on.
dog shit pitches and
Right.
Achna, their game against Aris tonight,
Cup game tonight, yeah.
got postponed because of a waterlogged pitch.
Yep.
First division game in one, like in the what is it, 22nd league in Europe,
Yep.
delayed due to a waterlogged pitch.
Maybe they didn't have any pitchforks to make holes in the turf to drain it. I don't know, maybe. Or maybe they didn't have a sheet to cover it when it was raining. Or maybe they just forgot that there was a game.
Yeah, that'll do.
Maybe. I don't know.
That'll
Anyway.
Yeah.
The final game, the Limassol derby between Ari and Apollon finished. Ari won, Apollon 0. Turned out to be the final game for Bambica, who was on the bench. But Montnor, the Dutchman, signed in the summer, gave Ari the lead, and that's how it ended. First of all, my friend, Babi, good luck to the lad who entered Toulouse.
Bye.
Yeah. Second most expensive player to leave Cyprus behind Zalai, who left APOEL to go to Freiburg, I believe. So, big player that Ari have lost. Very emotional evening for him and his teammates.
Yep.
They've moved in to sign another Semedo, not the Omonoia Semedo, but another one who might be as good as the Omonoia Semedo. You never know. But what are your thoughts on Bambica leaving Ari, and what do you remember, or what are the stand-up moments do you remember?
Well, there you go. He scored 16 goals, assisted 22 in his games. He almost got to their 100 as well. He got 91 games. The standout moment for him, I think, throughout his stay has got to be that goal against Rangers, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
or maybe the one against, who was it? Was it against Olympiacos at the Sirio, where he got the ball on the right hand side and he just cut in and whipped it back stick, and a goal against Anorthosis as well.
Yeah,
where he's done the give and go, where he's flicked it around the corner and spun off and put it in. But yeah, of course, the goals against Rangers, 100% for the club's history. But I think in the build up to, them qualifying for the Conference League in the first season up and then going on to win the league, the goal against Ajax, where he absolutely destroyed the fullbacks, the fullback and the centre back. He left them for Thassos like Roadrunner.
Yeah,
and even the bad touch,
he was a basketball match anyway. That was
no. The one at the Alpha Mega, not the one at the
right,
the
yeah.
arena.
Sorry, yeah.
No. The one where he's gone. They were trying to play an offside trap, and he's just sped past, and then it was a bad touch in the penalty box, and he was still quick enough to take it around Piric and put it in the back of there, and that led to the celebration with, was it Gomis? I think there was a celebration, or was it with Mayan Bella? I can't remember. But
well, I mean, it ended up all three of them were doing it.
Afterwards. Yeah. But no, good luck to him, because for a player that obviously joined them, very cheap as well. I think it was only like 25 grand, something along the lines, and to sell him for 2.75 million. But he just kept his head down. He was never any trouble. He was a fantastic player. Gave defenders nightmares. And the club is certainly going to miss him, but it's a higher level now, and I wish him the best. Wish him the best.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on him.
Oh yeah, of course, he's around the corner from you.
Well, no, he's not. Toulouse is a bit.
All right, I'm talking about there.
Yeah, Xavi, if you're watching this and you're playing PSG, I wouldn't mind a ticket. Go
Why not?
see my favourite Gabonese player.
So it's not Aubameyang, no?
No,
Okay.
no, dear Lord, no. No,
What is it? The
Tyrone Mings
same.
did Aubameyang in when they for that corner. You remember? You don't remember the corner bit?
Of course I do.
The Villa versus Arsenal. Tyrone Mings is chatting to Aubameyang, and they're all laughing, and then he runs round the back of Aubameyang and scores from the corner.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's my memory of Aubameyang. But yeah, there you go. No, my favourite Gabonese player is obviously
Lovely.
Babik.
All right. So the game itself.
Yep. Not a lot to report on really. The goal, very good movement from Monor. I think it is. They already have their direct replacement for Babika there. I think he was playing in Babika's position during the game. He dispossessed Malikidis on the halfway line, and then that typical Aris overload, 3 or 4 players running into the box. Great passing movement involving Kokorin as well, and then it comes back to Motnor. Little zip, just zip, it went in like that. Lovely little goal. And then Aris ended up the better part of 20 minutes with 10 men. Kaju getting sent off. Prior to the sending off, Apollon were on top. They were attacking, and then the sending off happened, and then any urgency that they had in their play just dissipated, and then the tactics seemed to be get a set piece and hope Valbuena does some brilliance until the end of the game. It's like I don't know what happened to Apollon after the sending off. Instead of kicking on when they were already like dominating for that 20 minutes before the sending off, they just went and they ran out of ideas. But yeah, never mind. Apollon signed a guy. They announced the signing of a 30-year-old.
They signed the guy. The way you said it, they signed the guy.
Yeah, they signed a guy.
Someone.
They signed a 30-year-old Romanian defensive midfielder called Andrei Artean.
To keep Kostaki company, I guess.
I don't know. Mostly, I mean, all his time spent in Romania previously, Timisoara, Caransebes, Poli, Valsea, and FC Viitorul. But he already has 20 appearances this season in the, what do they call it, Superliga 1 in Romania. Yes. With 3 goals in those 20 appearances. So,
impressive.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see.
On top of the Brazilian fullback they signed that used to play for their rivals.
Yes, let's.
He shall not be named for Ruslan's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want Ruslan cooking something.
We don't want no beef.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want no beef. Right. Let me bring up the league table then, since we need to discuss this, as your team still remain top despite the defeat. But they're slipping. They're slipping.
Yeah, there it is.
So, explain.
Well, APOEL are top, 42 points. Anorthosis are in second with 40 points. And then you've got 3 teams there on 38 points. We've got Aris, Omonoia, and Bafos. So that's not arranged by goal difference. It's arranged by results between the teams. So Aris have done the best out of the 3 teams against each other there. That's why they're sat in third, Omonoia in fourth, and Bafos in fifth. And then you've got Ajax in sixth with 36 points. So that's the top 6. They're all split by 6 points now. That's and then you've got a 7-point drop there to Apollon in 7th with 29 points, and Nea Salamina in 8th with 28 points. And then you've got a 9-point drop before you get to AEL in 9th on 19 points, Achna in 10th on 17, Garmiodisa in 11th with 14, Othellos in 12th with 13, AES in 13th with 12, and Doxa propping things up with 8 points.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
You did very well there, I must admit.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, of course, some other cup matches happened as well. Well, one more happened. We've got AEK beat Othellos 4-2. So AEK are through to the quarterfinals.
Excellent.
Now,
good for them.
Tomorrow night, as we're recording, we've got AES versus BAEK. Oh, it's a big game, that one. Oh, that's going to be a spicy one, that one. All 8 people that are going to show up to watch that game are going to have a good time. And then you've got Olympiacos versus Bafos. And then you've got Omonoia versus Grasava. Grasava.
That's going to be tasty.
Yeah.
Tiago comes back to Omonoia.
Haralambidis is going to be having them very much geared up, I think, for the game.
Former APOEL man. That's going to be an interesting one. But hey, look, it's the cup, isn't it? It's the magic of the Coca-Cola Cup. And you know what? With Rekdal being a big Coke enthusiast, the drink, not the gear, we're going to win it because he drinks Coke. I don't know if you noticed, but he drinks Coke in press conferences.
You put the video on Instagram, didn't you? With the
yes.
They're comparing him to Ronaldo moving the cans.
Agua.
Agua.
And he's like, fuck this shit. I'm drinking Coca-Cola, motherfucker.
Yep. But yeah, there's not really that much magic in the cup in Gibro. Like, you can probably tell who's going to win the game just by looking at it normally. I haven't seen many surprises. The only real big surprise that we've seen previously was when Abob Guiniras Beyaz won it all that time ago. Can you imagine any other surprises? I mean, Achna got to the final a couple of seasons ago.
Olympiacos got to the final when they lost to Anorthosis, COVID season.
But they also did well in the league that season. So.
Yeah, but it's Olympiacos, man. Come on, with Dornaidi as president. Mikhail in goal.
No comment.
There you go.
But yes, there is another spicy one next week in the Cup, and that's the last game that will be played, is Apollon versus AEL.
Interesting. Teste.
Yeah, tasty.
Like
I've got one more thing.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I've got one more thing. And then I'll leave it for you. I just wanted to pick something up that I saw in the second.
Leave it for me.
Sorry?
Leave it for me.
No. And then I'm gonna leave it to you if you've got anything else.
Okay.
But yeah, so BAEK in the second division, BAEK Guerinas are doing the APOEL and Anorthosis thing. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah. So they've got their own transfer embargo to deal with. So to solve it, they have decided to reach out to 50 people for them to provide €350 each. That's 17,500 euros. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting one. That maybe they'll find enough Guerignodes who've got enough petty cash lying around to give them €350 each.
350, eh? 350. What else can you get for 350? Oh, I know. Probably 2 season tickets for a first division club. But anyway.
Yeah. So there you go.
I've run out of coffee. I can't slurp.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So that's the news. That's the news.
Okay. Well, there's one more bit of information that I think we need to bring up. A gentleman who we had on this podcast in the summer has returned to Cyprus, and it's Alex. He's rejoined Paralimni.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. How could I forget this? Alexander Vucenovic.
Congratulations.
Petros' favorite player.
Yes.
Is back at Paralimni.
He's back at Baralini.
Good lad.
And,
Good lad.
Yeah,
The second division is not fucking ready. He's going to set fire to it. He's going to set fire to it.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's all we have for now. We've done an hour and 45 minutes. Blimey indeed.
Let's be good from now on, guys. Huh?
Yes, please. Just but we say this, but as we record this, tomorrow morning, being Thursday morning, there's going to be a meeting at 11:30, I think, with the CFA and the police. So more to come. This is why we need to start doing additional content for the members area. Maybe that's something we might be able to do.
Yep. So, I mean, next week it might be really short because there won't be any games on.
Yeah, true that. True that.
Spicy.
Right. Do you want to do the socials?
Oh, yeah, we can do the socials. So let's go. We've got them Facebooks, we've got them Instagrams, we've got them Twitter X's. We are at This Is Mappa. I'm at Flares Cafes or at Cafes Flares, whatever you want to. I'm there. You'll find me. Apparently, I am. Somebody posted on Twitter tonight that I am the Cypriot Fabrizio. So yeah, come at me. And obviously, we've also got Mr. Stel there on the Instagrams as well. You got them TikToks as well, I think, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so
I have a TikTok, but I don't really want to talk about that too much.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. We've also got the website. I suspect that we'll have some kind of article going up once this all settles down and we've got some conclusions. I'm also working on something about managers who have who have managed the most clubs in the league. Believe it or not, Sofroni's on the list. You will be surprised by a couple of those entries.
Oh, I like being surprised.
Yeah. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them you're going to look at and go, who, as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I think that's all. Oh, Discords. We've got the Discords. There's them Discords as well. Don't forget them. And you know, if you're an Omonoia supporter and you don't have a membership yet, it's 99 cents.
Absolutely.
You get the reviews, you get the previews. Maybe Mr. Analyst over here.
Maybe.
Mr. Analyst.
Maybe.
And I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to put some additional content in there for the non-Omonoia fans.
Well, look, I think that we have delivered a lot of content for the viewers. I think we've done a lot to report on Cypriot football, but as we know, a week is a long time in Cyprus, so we might need to do something to fill in those gaps.
Yes.
We might need to do something. And do you know, I think maybe I should do a bit of analysis for other clubs as well. Maybe I should do that. But again, that takes a bit of time, and let's see how we go. But watch this space because we've got a lot coming. So there you go. Anyway, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back very, very soon. So until next time, be good.
Be good.
Stop being naughty.
Good. Be better.
Stop being naughty. That's what you